All right. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a few moments. And I'm really, really excited to be here with you again today. So go ahead and once you arrive, go ahead and put in your name and where you're from, and also post for me your fun score. And we're going to go through today what that fun score really meant. That was from your homework yesterday. Hi, Tara from Canada, Saskatchewan, and your 18 was your score. Lynn, my score was 3. Okay. I'm Vicki from Las Vegas. And so people are funneling in right now. The numbers are going up on my board as people are in the room. Let's see. Gila from BC, fun score was in the middle. Lene, I guess that's how you say it in Florida. That was great. So go ahead and tell me what yours was. Melanie said 38. Suzanne said 15. Celine said 36 from Denver. Let's see. Monica, 16 from Chicago. Fun score 40. Great, Debbie. 39, Suzanne. Roxanne from Medicine Hat, 22. Nicole, fun score 27. Jerry, 13. Awesome. Awesome. So you kind of got the idea of what the scores mean, but I'm going to review it, and then we're going to review some ways that you can increase your fun score. So I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen. I'm assuming you're all hearing me really well. Yeah, I'm assuming you're all hearing me. So let's go ahead. And Ladia says, happy belated birthday. And I'm sorry if I didn't catch all your names because it shoots by me really fast. When it starts, I just get a few names at a time. Connie said I got a 17 when I redid it. Catherine, 24. Yeah, super. So I'm going to go ahead and get the recording started. And I'm going to go ahead and just start with me. So hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our Awaken Your Vitality week-long transformation event. We had so many people join in on the Facebook group yesterday, and so many people posted how excited they were. And while I realize that in doing a week-long event, you're not going to be able to attend every single day, so we kind of scattered them or spattered them, whatever the word might be, about different hours throughout the day. So some are in the morning, some are in the afternoon, some are in the evening, just so that depending on what time zone and what your work schedule is, you'll at least be able to catch 1 or 2 or 3 live. So I'm excited to have you here, and I'm excited that you're able to be here live. We ended up with like 250 people that came live on Monday morning. So that says to me that this is of interest to you and that you're excited about it. And I know Monday mornings tend to be a really difficult time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And let me give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect. Each of these calls is going to be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. Thursday evening and Saturday, we have a longer webinar where I'm going to go into a little bit more content and action items, and also leave more time for you to ask questions about how this applies to you. The Facebook group is an awesome place to post your questions. And I know Lynn was busy answering questions, and I was too. I'll be more active as the week goes on, because yesterday was my birthday day and I didn't work the whole day, but I did get in there and answer some of your questions and commented on some of your posts. So I'm excited about doing that. So it's Unstoppable Health. If you just go to, I think Lynn will post the link again, but it's basically if you go to Facebook and you type Unstoppable Health Group, you can get on it. But also every email that I'm sending out to you will have it. I also want to let you know that after each call, we're going to be sending you a message that says basically, thanks for being on the call, and here's a link to some new resources, gifts, homework assignments, action items, whatever it is related to that particular day. And in there is a link to the recording page. And the way that you'll get to the recordings is that you go to the access page where you got the access information for this, and in place of where it says add this to your calendar with the date, it'll say replay. And you click that, and every single one of them will be the same pretty much, but it'll go to a replay page. So you should be getting that. We're going to add that replay page link to each of the emails that we send. But also you got to know that it's not going to happen immediately that the replay will be there, as it takes my team and I a good couple of hours to edit the pages and post the recordings. But if you go there within, say, 3 or 4 hours, or the next day, you'll be able to catch the recording from the day before, and you'll also get links to all of the handouts that we're going to be giving you. So yesterday we gave you your fun quiz, and that's what everybody's posting, like what's their score. And I'm going to go through a little bit about what that means. I'm also going to give you in the email after today, we're going to give you basically another thing that's going to be your action item, and I'll share with that what it's going to be. And then I'm going to give you a little quiz, just a little one, to see how you're doing with your diet, just to give you a score with relationship to your diet. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about some really fun ways to incorporate some great stuff into your diet. So let's just go ahead and begin. And I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to see my slides. And we're giving you copies of all the slides as well. So everything, you'll have copies of everything. So let me send you there. And there you should be seeing my slides. Before I get started, I'm going to take a little sip of water. All right. So everybody's posting their scores. This is great. All right. So let's just go ahead and begin. And I want to make sure that, in anything we do, that you're aware that none of this is intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a qualified healthcare professional. It's meant as education and to supplement that. If you're under the care of a doctor, you're on any medication, you sure should be checking in with your doctor to make sure that nothing that we talk about here would be incongruent with what you're doing there. But what I find is that conventional medicine has, they basically have great solutions for acute problems. So if you break your arm, you're having a heart attack, a life-threatening infectious disease, Western medicine has great tools. But when those tools are used in conjunction with some of the stuff we're going to be talking about here, which is empowering you to access your own inner healer by getting the bad stuff out of the way and putting some good stuff in, that can always be done in conjunction with medical care. Just make sure you discuss it with your doctor. So fun and relationships, and they often go hand in hand, and there's ways to make your relationships more fun. And yesterday we talked about it as one of our pillars of health. And I'm going to review that diagram if you missed it or you came in late or whatever. I'm going to review that diagram towards the end of this. But it's really important that we honor all of the pillars of health. And we started with fun. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about food. The next day we're going to talk about stress. So we're going to go through as many of the pillars as we can, and then we're going to tell you how you can, get even more information about those pillars, and that'll be in our webinars on Thursday night and Saturday night, and on Saturday morning, so that on these shorter ones, we'll just hit one pillar at a time. And the pillars, remember, and I'm going to push forward to that slide because I wanted to just show you. The pillars are what holds up and keeps you in balance. And these are the diet, the lifestyle actions, that sleep, the stress, everything that you need to support a healthy functioning. And when those pillars are in order, your digestion works, your blood sugar works, your adrenals work, your thyroid works, your sex hormone, and all your organ systems. When any one of those pillars gets knocked down or knocked out, then what happens is your digestion doesn't work as well. Your blood sugar, your adrenals, your thyroid, your sex hormones, and your organs, they just start to fall apart. Now, when we're restoring balance, which we're going to talk a lot more about on Thursday and Saturday in our webinars, and what I do when I'm working with people privately, is there are things we can do to help support the individual organ and gland systems, but a lot of it is based on these pillars being in balance. And so the mistake that a lot of medical practitioners make, and maybe you make, is that you try to go, oh, I have a thyroid problem. So I don't want to take medication. What are some of the herbs or foods that I can eat for my thyroid? Or I have PMS. What are some of the nutrients that I need to support me in PMS? But really, you have to be looking at everything that comes below it. So if your sex hormones are out of balance, likely there's something going on with your thyroid and your adrenals and your blood sugar and your digestion. Maybe not all of them, but maybe some of them. But if any of those rocks below what's going wrong with you, where your symptoms mostly lie, are out of balance, you've got to address it before you address that specific imbalance. And if any of these pillars are out of balance, it's going to contribute to any of your organ systems being out of balance. So we looked at fun as being one of our pillars. We started with fun. Why? Because it's fun. And because most people ignore it. Most people just say, well, I don't have time for fun. And what I'm going to share with you today is that you don't have time to not have fun. So you all got a copy of this in your email yesterday. If you didn't, you'll have a link to the replay page in the email today, and you'll have access to all the things that I give you every day. And we're going to be giving you PDF documents and MP3s and videos, a lot of little resources that you can do and put into action right away. So we asked you to look at the fun scorecard, and we wanted you to see, like, what's going on here. Most people will say, well, I'm in touch with, most people would like to be in the place where, yeah, I know what's fun for me and I do it often. And if you do, you get 4 points for that. If nothing seems fun anymore, you get 0 points for that. Now, if nothing seems fun anymore, there are some imbalances that need to be addressed. And oftentimes it's because your neurotransmitters in your brain, one in particular called dopamine, where nothing is pleasurable anymore, is out of balance. And those neurotransmitters get out of balance when your diet's out of balance and when the gut is messed up. There's this integral relationship between your gut and your brain. So if you fell somewhere in between that, you got your score, and then you move on to a series of questions like, how often do you take time for? So if you're one of those folks that works like crazy and doesn't take time or almost never takes time for hobbies, recreation, fun activities, exercise that's considered more fun, but exercise, I personally love exercise. So for me, when asked what did I want to do for my birthday, I said I want to sweat and get wet, meaning I want to exercise and work up a good sweat and really work my muscles, and I want to then go for a swim. I mean, that's my idea of a lot of fun. I like hiking. I like a lot of other things as well. I like pottery. I like painting. But those are like, oh, if I can get to do those things, I'm really happy. And one of the things that gave me joy for my 60th birthday, my goal was to do 60 push-ups. That may seem like I'm a little weird, but that's just what I wanted to do. And I couldn't quite make 60 all in a row, but I did 22 and 38, and you add it up and it gets to 60. So what's fun for you? Do you like games? Do you like connecting with friends? Do you like being silly? Do you like doing self-improvement? Do you like spiritual stuff? So any of these that you're doing on a regular basis, you mark, and you mark how frequently you're doing them, and you come up with a score. And then the third question was about, again, how often do you do them? How often do you spend time doing some of these things, like that are negative, actually? So venting, calling a friend or family member to gripe or gossip, distractions, eat, watch TV, play video games, etc., chores, laundry, cleaning, organizing, yard work. How often do you do that instead of fun? And the higher the, that actually should be the other way around. I am going to have to ask you guys to change that. I don't know how that got switched, but when I originally set this up, I just noticed this. So if you're spending time griping and using distractions, those are the higher scores. So those numbers should be reversed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to revise this questionnaire and send it out to you and let you do it again. So if you had a lower score than you think you should have, it could be related to these 3 questions. So I'm just going to tell you right now, so maybe you'll update your scores and tell me how it changed. So if you're venting, oh no, sorry, never mind, my mistake. It's correct. I just reread it. It's correct. So skip whatever I just said. Everything's fine. Let's see what your score is. And we also gave you a spot where you could just brainstorm some of your fun activities. And then what's your interpretation? If you got a score that's greater than 40, awesome. Yay. You're doing really well. And you're having fun. You're incorporating fun. So that pillar's in order. So let's see what you can do for the other pillars. If your score is between 30 and 40, you need to add a little bit more fun. So just try to add it, once a week, every day. If your score is between 20 and 30, your fun quota is really sinking fast. If it's between 10 and 20, you have very little fun. And if it's between 0 and 10, you need to turn up the fun dial. So I'm gonna show you right now a little glimpse of a document that I'm sending you out in an email shortly after this call. And that document is gonna take you through a little bit about, well, why is fun so important? And we give you some descriptions of how fun is so important for decreasing stress, of course. And decreasing stress shifts your biochemistry so that you're much more apt to be able to think clearly and make great decisions. It helps with inflammation. So aches and pains can start to go away just by you starting to incorporate fun every day. Isn't that cool? So and it doesn't have to be more than 5 minutes. So this document is going to go into the details, and it's a 6-page document, and it's going to help you to learn to use fun to antidote all the stress. Because face it, we all have stress. Just even, the kinds of things that we do and breathe, the air we breathe and the kind of things we do and the schedule and all. So this is going to help you to just brainstorm ways that you can incorporate at least 5 minutes a day. So it's a 6-page document, and the last couple of pages describes how to figure out what's fun for you and then incorporate it into your life. So the first step is to just relax and ask yourself, what do I really love to do? If you don't come up with anything, it's probably because your neurotransmitters are out of balance, and they can be corrected. But ask, what did I used to really love to do? What did I used to do for recreation? What did I do when I was a kid, a teenager, a young adult, a young married person, or a new mom? What did I do with my kids? What did I used to do for fun? And what are some of the activities that either now leave you feeling incredibly alive and elated, or used to? Like for me, it's like, oh my God, walking on the beach or just being in warm water. I feel so good. And sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk and I have so much work to do, I'll like grab 5 minutes and I'll run down and I'll stick my feet in the hot tub and just sit there and take in the sun. And if you don't have sun where you live because you're living up north and it's snowy, then look at pictures. Look at pictures and really visualize. Remember these times. What would I do with my days? This is a key question. What would I do with my days if money was not an object, my responsibilities suddenly floated away like a hot air balloon, and I was left with all the time in the world to do whatever I like? So take the time tonight, right after this call, to do this. And you can read more about it in the document I send you, but even if you just do these things, what do I truly love, or what have I loved in the past? What activities leave me feeling alive and elated or used to? And what would I do if money wasn't an object? Would I be climbing mountains? Would I be writing? Would I be on the beach? What combination of things would I be doing? And then you're going to make a list, and we have a chart that you'll get to fill out. And again, the document will explain it in detail. But after you've written down all of the activities and why you enjoy them, you're going to rate them. A is small time investment, can be done in 5 to 30 minutes. Medium time commitment, it can be done in 30 minutes to 2 hours. Significant time commitment requires more than 2 hours. And D is multiple day commitment, may require travel. So if I say, I love to ski, well, I don't live in Colorado. So for me, going skiing is a multiple day commitment. It's a D. So I can't do that every day or every week. I may do it once a year, every couple of years, right? Going hiking on our local hike and bike trail, that can take me probably more than 2 hours because it's going to take me the half an hour to drive there, at least an hour on the trail and an hour coming home. So that might be a C. And again, I'm not going to be doing that every single day because I'm working, but if you're retired, maybe you will. Medium would be something that can be done in 30 minutes to 2 hours. So that might be for me going to my local waterfall that's in my neighborhood, which it's about 1.5 miles to get to it. And then, however much time I want to spend tromping around that, and then the time to get back. So I could do that in under 2 hours. And A is that small time commitment, 5 to 30 minutes. So going down and sticking my feet in the pool and having a picture of the beach and pretending I'm at the beach, or doing, like I like to paint. So I have a watercolor easel in my office, and I could actually just do a few strokes. If you like to knit, you can just take out something and knit for a few minutes, very small time commitment. If you like puzzles, if you like drawing. So all of these things that can take small time commitments. So if you're like, I don't do enough fun, my score was a 10 or a 5, just pick something from your list. Take a half an hour tonight to really give yourself this gift and go through and look at what's fun. What is fun for you? And then write it down, right? Fill in the chart that I gave you. I gave you room for 20. If you don't have 20, fine. Do as many as you can. Some people just keep going and going. I would go on for days. There's so much I consider fun, but you're going to prioritize. But you're also going to rank them, A, B, C, D. And then you're going to every day choose one activity that you can do for 5 minutes. And then maybe once a week, you can do a medium activity. Maybe once every month or two, you can do a C activity. Maybe once every year, you can do a D activity. So take a look at this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Allow yourself that time. Give yourself that gift because you deserve it. You deserve it. And this is the list that I have. What's the activity? So for me, it's painting. Why do I love it? Oh, it allows me to just unleash my creativity and just be sloppy. And with watercolor, there's no mistakes, and you can always make it look pretty. And you can always undo your quote unquote mistakes. How long it takes? Well, I can do watercolor in 5 minutes if I have everything set up, or a half an hour. Or I could do it for 3 or 4. How often do you want to do it? And how often you're going to commit to it? Okay, so have at it. This is going to come in your inbox probably about an hour after the call ends. I got to make sure that all the links are right. And just go for it. And then what I want you to do is go to the Facebook group, the Unstoppable Health Facebook group, and post what you did. Okay, I don't want you to come to the call tomorrow or drop out of this because you didn't do it, but do your best you can. Pick something that you can do in 5 minutes. Okay, even if it's just looking at a picture book, looking at your photo album, putting a few photos in your album. If you like to do the fancy like memory maker things, creative memories or whatever, make a page in your photo album. And there's so many things. You deserve it. And it's not one of those extras. It's part of your health regime. You start doing this every day, and I promise you, you're going to start to feel more alive and more vibrant. Totally. Remember, this is one of the pillars that holds up the pyramid, which is you, your health. It's fun, but it's just as important as all the others, and that's where we started. Tomorrow, we're going to move on to healthy diet, and I'm going to share a few things with you. As soon as I finish these slides, I'm going to show you some healthy diet things that I made for myself for a quick lunch because I didn't have time. My last call ended at 4:10. This one started at 4:30 and I had some things to get done. So I ran to the kitchen. I made myself a quick dip, grabbed a couple of veggies, and I have something to eat. And I want to show you how easy it can be. And tomorrow we'll go into more detail about that. All of these, when you get these handled, they hold up. They support healthy digestion, blood sugar, adrenals, thyroid, sex hormones, and organs. And when you can get all of these in order, you're going to feel great. Now, you're going to do these activities. There may be some specific herbs or nutrients or probiotics that you're going to need to take, or foods for your digestion. There may be specific things you need to do for your blood sugar, adrenals, thyroid, sex hormones, and organs. But if you try to do this out of order, what's going to happen is instead of this amazing balance that you have where everything's great and you're feeling healthy and you have balanced hormones, which means optimal health, Instead, it's going to fall apart. Just one pillar. Look at what it does to disrupt things. And that's you probably every day going, I'm out of balance. We want you, I want you back in balance. So tomorrow we're going to work on food. You'll have an assessment that you can do literally in 5 minutes, guys. And tomorrow we'll look at your scores related to your nutrition. And so I want you to make sure that you're aware that I'm doing this every single day in small bursts to keep you inspired to know that health does not come from big bursts and then nothing. Your health builds with small steps every single day. So wherever you are, I know people who are on this call who are very astute, who are also they're health coaches, right? So they know this stuff, but they're not necessarily doing it for themselves. And this whole thing is all about awakening your inner healer. It's about awakening you, your inner healer, so that it can create the life that you desire and you deserve. And when you open up these channels and you learn how to do these activities, and then as we talk about on our Saturday webinar, you learn how to be your own health detective and assess what's going on in here that's showing up out here. And you can be empowered to not need Western medicine except for those emergencies, that you become your own healthcare professional, and that you have access to professionals who can guide you in ways that are more supportive and nurturing versus trying to fix you. Okay, so I want to show you real quick a glimpse of some of the things you're going to learn how to make in the video. I'll give you a little hint that we're going to give you tomorrow. This is a dip that I made. Oh, I overfilled it, so I'm trying to let you see. So I'm going to pick up the camera and I'm going to hold it down into there. So there you go. It's a dip. It's yummy. It was made from a few little mini red bell peppers, some garlic, a handful of sprouts, a handful of arugula, blended up with macadamia nuts and hemp seeds. Really good, strong omega-3 food for your immune system and your inflammation. And then I added some chipotle and cayenne because that's what I like. You may add Italian seasoning, whatever seasonings you like. And then what I'm going to do with this, and the reason I did it, is I have a celery stick, and I'm going to dip it and eat it. And I won't do it now. That's yummy. Or I'm going to take my red bell pepper, which is a whole red bell pepper, and I could rip it in half if I don't have a knife handy. So this is something I threw together in 5 minutes, guys. I could fill this up, or I could just use strips of it and dip it. Or I could fill it up, and I could add some other stuff to it. I could add some sauerkraut and all. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm going to share with you some resources to teach you exactly how to do that. But that's tomorrow. So what I need from you before tomorrow is to do the fun activity sheet and identify at least 5 things that you find fun, and at least one that takes 5 to 30 minutes, a couple that take, you know, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. If you want to identify the longer ones, fine. If you don't, no big deal. I just want you to start incorporating fun every day. The way you're going to best do it is those 5 to 30 minute items. So figure it out, do your form, and just really sit with yourself. And imagine having fun every day. Imagine waking up to like anticipation of joy and fun and happiness, and how that's going to affect you in here. And I will say to you that one of my secrets to being healthy and vibrant at the age I'm at, which is 60 years old, is taking care of myself and incorporating fun. And I do fun stuff. I have fun in my work, but I also, every day, I take at least 5 minutes to either go down and stick my feet in the pool, or to look at some pictures, or to laugh with my husband, or go and, you know, listen to my son play guitar. I mean, that counts. My son is a really good guitarist. I love listening to him. That's fun. Sitting on his bed and talking about his day and massaging his back. That's fun for me. What are those fun things for you that are going to generate that joy for living and that vitality and awaken your inner healer, which is what we're here for, right? Awaken your vitality. Take a deep breath. Commit to spending a little time tonight going through and identifying what's fun for you and then doing it. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking you. 5 minutes, report on the Facebook group, and then come again tomorrow for our class tomorrow, and we'll talk about some food stuff that you're going to love. And I'm going to give you a video and some other little things like, oh, we have this great new recipe sheet that I'm so excited about. It looks beautiful and the recipe's gorgeous, but you have to come, you have to be here. So if somebody sent you here and gave you the link just to the webinar and you're not really signed up officially, we can't send you all the goodies. So we need you to go and get signed up, and that's awakenyourvitality.com. So if you happened upon this on Facebook or on, maybe you saw it on YouTube and it's live there, that's great. But you're not going to get all the goodies unless you register so we can send them to you. That's the only way we could do it. And if something happens where there's a mistake in one, we'll send you the update. So if there's any questions at all, type them into the question box. We're going to officially end right here. And if there's any questions that you type in here that didn't get answered, Lynn has been checking them. We're going to take them over to the Facebook group and we're going to answer them over there. Okay, and it's the Unstoppable Health Facebook group. Please join it. It's an amazing resource. In addition to this class, we do a whole lot of stuff. We post recipes and we post articles and we post all sorts of things there. So have an awesome rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Watch your email. It should be within an hour or so after this ends. I'm just going to go make sure that all the links are in there and they're working properly, and then I'll send it out to you. Bye now. We'll see you tomorrow.